Dear students of UP Board Class 12th English Prose, students today our topic is A Girl with a Basket that is written by William C. Douglas. Student, in this lecture 2 English version, we will study the second part of this chapter. Students, I have already told you about the writer of this chapter by Mr. William C. Douglas. Mr. William C. Douglas was the judge of Supreme Court of America. Students, in 1950, after 3 years of independence, he came to India and he had a great experience. Uh, one of the stations when he was journeying from Delhi to Ranikhet. Students, a girl of 9 years attracted him very much and he gave the writer a glimpse of warm soul of India. Now students, let's see the second part of this chapter. In the, students, when the writer was traveling from Delhi to Ranikhet, then students, he was observing Indian people by coming down on every station in the way. He was talking to the people on every way. He was coming down and was trying to feel the pulse of the nation. And students, one of the stations, he had a unique experience, and it goes like this. At one station, my routine of talking with people was interrupted. Interrupted means disturbed. Here, the writer says that the experience of the writer on one of the stations was unique, and his continuity when he was talking to the people on each and every stations, uh, it was disturbed as he had a different experience on one of the stations. As soon as I alighted, means as soon as the writer came down on the station, a group of young children gathered around him. Means when he stepped on the station on the platform, a group of young children gathered around him. All the children uh, uh, started gathering near him. They were selling baskets, and you see what type of baskets were there? Hand woven. Reed baskets means reed is a type of wood by which these baskets were made of, with simple designs and patterns, and their designs and patterns were very ordinary and simple. Now the students, you must come to know what the children were selling. The children were selling hand woven reed baskets of simple designs and patterns. They held the baskets high and shouting words. Writer says, I did not know, but conveying unmistakably their desire. Means, a student, the writer says that he did not know the language of the children, what they were trying to say, but unmistakably he was able to understand the desire of the children, means what the children wanted with the writer. These were refugee children, and when partition between India and Pakistan was decreed, and decreed means announced lawfully, hundreds of thousands of people pulled up their roots and changed their residencies. Means when there was a partition between India and Pakistan, many people left uh, Pakistan and came to India. And students, they were hundreds of thousands of people. They came to India, and they were 9 million people, students. They came to India driven by the fear of religious fanaticism. Students, religious fanaticism is a meaningful term here. This is religious fanaticism means the person who is fanatic in terms of religion, means the students and sorry the people who were full of bigotry. Bigotry means they had a blind belief in religion, and the people of religion was not liking to the people of other religion, and it was happening at the time of partition. That's why the people who were in Pakistan that time didn't like the people who were to be sent to India. And because of this religious matter, they came to India because of the fear of being killed. They were people to start with. They were poorer as they began their long trek. Means when they started leaving Pakistan, and they uh, kept on walking on the way, because they had less food and less belongings with them, they became poorer and poorer. For all they had very little quantity of belongings with them. for all they could carry was a bit of food and a few belongings. Students, uh, when they started their journey from Pakistan, they had very little things with them. Soon they were out of food because the way was long and they had consumed all their food items, and they had spent whatever they had, so they became out of food. A few days after they started began and to fall by the wayside from weakness and hunger and died where they fell. And students, when they continued their journey, they started falling on the roadside and they began to die. The reason was they had very few food articles with them, they had very few belongings and possessions and things with them, and on them it was very difficult to survive. So they began to they began to pass their days in hunger, and their energy was getting decreased, and by they began to fall by the roadside and they began to die. Student, now there may be the question whose children they were. Then your answer will be these children were the children of the refugees who at the time of partition left Pakistan and came to India. Students, next question will be why did they came to India? The answer will be they came to India because of the religious fanaticism, means the fear of religious bigotry. Students, because they were the victim of rigid thoughts of religion. They were poor people to start with, means they had to leave their place and they started to India. And students, because they have nothing sufficient with them, so they consumed all that whatever they had in the way, and when the things or food items were consumed, they had nothing to eat, so they became weaker and weaker and they died in the roads on the roadside. The children selling basket were sons and daughters of these refugees. This line can be added to your answer, students. These children who were selling basket were the sons and daughters of these refugees who left Pakistan and came to India. In this way, you will prepare your answer. They or their parents or relatives had gathered in the cities. Students, when they came from Pakistan, they settled in the overcrowded places of India, because they were coming in groups. When somebody leaves for somewhere, then definitely he comes with his relatives, with his familiar persons, so that they may help one another. In the same way, they were coming in groups, and in those groups they settled in the crowded places of India. They gathered in the cities, setting up stalls, manufacturing simple articles, because students, when somebody comes on some new place, definitely they must be able to earn something, because without earning it is difficult to survive there, because they must have some money to buy food. So they started some making some things like simple articles, trying to make living in the market already overcrowded. And students, they shifted in the market, they were already overcrowded means there was already a great rush. They lived in clothes and grass sheds, means they have no proper shelter. So students, they prepare their sheds, they prepare their houses, they prepare their shelter with the help of cloth and grass, and lined the streets, and they began to live in the crowded streets. The peasants among these refugees had been accustomed to little all their lives, for the annual income of an agricultural family doesn't exceed on an average $100 a year. The mean to say is that students, when they started living in the crowded streets of the marketplaces, students, their income was very meager, their income was very short, and they were unable to survive their life properly. The peasants among these refugees, means there were two types of people. First type of people were there who were making some simple articles and selling them in the marketplaces and trying to earn their living. And the second were the persons who know the work of a peasantry, who means who were peasants and try to work in the fields of others, and in this way these refugees had been accustomed to little all their lives for the annual income. Means by working hard in the fields they earned very little annual income, and this income of an agricultural family doesn't exceed on an average $100 a year. And students, these people who used to work in the fields of others could earn only $100 a year. The average unskilled laborer makes 30 cents a day or less than $2 a week. Students, a dollar has 100 cents. In this way, if you try to calculate $30 a day, means they will earn near $2 in a week, because there are 7 days and they earn 30 cents, then 37 are 210. In this way, $2 a week near about. There is one meal a day, and students, in these $2 they could get only a meal of a day, and in that meal means in their food an onion, a piece of bread, a bowl of pulse with milk, and maybe a bit of goat cheese. Now students, let's take it again. The persons who were related to the agriculture could earn only $2 a week. It makes $100 a year. And students, such people who were earning this were able only to have the meal of a day. Means they could earn one meal of a day, which consisted of an onion, a piece of bread, a bowl of pulse with milk, perhaps a bit of goat cheese, no tea, no coffee, no fat, no sweets, no meat. $100 a year is not $2 a week. Students, it was average. It is not an exact calculation of their earning. Yet even that small amount is hard to earn by selling baskets to people too poor to buy them. Means students, even this little money was very difficult to earn for them, because the people who were to buy these articles, they were also poor. That no doubt is the reason these little children descended on me like locusts. Now the writer says he is trying to give us the reason why these children rushed to the writer to sell their baskets. Why? Because they thought that the person means I am American, means that person was an American, was doubtless the most promising market they had seen. The most promising market means, students, the person who could buy all the things from those children. Now here the writer says, why did those children rush toward the writer? So then students, the answer of this question will be, those children rushed to the writer with their articles and wares because they knew that he was an American, he was a foreigner, and he would be able to purchase all their simple articles in good money, and they will pay good money for those articles, and was doubtless the most promising market. Most promising market means from where they could get their profit. So those children descend on the writer like locusts. Now student, the writer says, I bought one tiny basket for a few annas. This is the description of the writer, who had bought all these things, the things which were being sold by the students, by the children. I bought one tiny basket for a few annas, means you say there are 12 annas in 1 rupee, in 100 paise. I means the writer bought one tiny basket for a few annas, another fruit basket for a bit more, means more than those annas, a beautiful west paper basket for a rupee, a lovely sewing basket means that was useful for the articles to be put in that sewing basket for a rupee. A few fans for an anna, means he spent an anna on some handmade fans, and 2 paise, means this was the money which was spent on those simple articles. In this way the writer says, my arms were filled, means the arms of the writer were filled, and I had spent not 50 cents, means Before spending near about 50 cents, the arms of the writer were filled because he had purchased sufficient articles in for 50 cents. The children pressed in means the children were trying to sell their items to the writer. Shouting their wares means they were describing their wares, whatever they had in their hands. I was prisoner completely means the writer was surrounded by those children who were trying to sell their baskets, and the writer was unable to move because there were children all around him. Among those children, the most diligent, aggressive vendor was a beautiful girl. Students, the writer was attracted to the girl because it was different from those children who were selling their wares before him. And that girl of 9, right in front of him, that girl was standing before the writer. She had a lovely basket with a handle. Students, you must come to know this important point, that little girl had a lovely basket with a handle and she was standing before the writer, and she wanted a rupee and a half for it. Means she wanted to sell this basket with the handle for a rupee and a half, or about 30 cents. Means students, a rupee and a half had the value of 30 cents. She was an earnest pleader. Means she was trying to request the writer to purchase that basket that was being sold by the girl. There were tears in her eyes. Means it was the gesture and body language, and it was the condition of the girl. Students, these things will be in your answer. She pleaded and begged in tones that would wring anybody's heart. Means that would wring any heart. Means the style of his speaking and the style of his selling and her grace was so pleasant, was so impressive, that the heart of anybody can be compelled to attract to the girl. Means she had a very impressive body language, so as with the writer, and the writer was attracted to that girl. Now students, let's see who attracted among the children. The answer will be the girl of 9, who had a basket with handle and wanted a rupee and a half for it, attracted the writer very much. Why? Because she was earnest pleader. There were tears in her eyes, and she begged and begged in tones that would melt anybody's heart. And then students, in this way you came to know how was the continuity of the writer in talking to the people was interrupted. It was interrupted when a group of people gathered around the writer, and they were trying to sell their baskets. Among those children there was a 9-year-old little girl who tried to sell her basket with handle in 1.5 rupee. Now students, I hope you got everything from this lecture regarding this portion of the chapter, and please to continue and to complete your chapter, keep on watching our lectures, and please must attend your lecture number 3. Now students, if you like our lecture, please don't forget to subscribe our channel, and please if you like our lecture, please like, share and comment. Thanks.